number figured out, a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline the. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized you hadn't shown your face. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along, a siren same story. You lose to love and glory.
Dear, okay, seriously, why, John? And then we'll get some. There's some variations. There's like, hey and why, but like, I mean, even some have like emojis with like head and hands. But, like,
sure.
That's really. I mean, we got over 617 variations on why. As
That
just
many?
letters.
Holy.
In the first like 6 hours of the race being called. So like I was like, okay, there's nothing that we can. It's like I don't know. Does anyone know? Apparently, ask all the fucking assholes that decided that they wanted 4 more years of this fucking garbage.
We're live, by the way.
Not me.
We are live. We are live.
Hey,
so, hello everyone.
Hopefully. Why did anyone vote for him? I don't fucking know.
Who knows?
I didn't. So
most of us didn't where we are. So
So.
But yet here we are. Well, but I hope my dear hope, and this is the we don't want to delve into this because there's people who legitimately need help, right? My dear hope is that everyone's eggs get cheaper, so they can.
That is true.
Buy them more. You know what I mean? More friendly. So I hope that for everyone.
$6.
Oh my God.
What is mass deportation versus how much is a fucking omelet, man?
Right.
I'm not paying like $6 for an omelet. That's ridiculous.
And
what I mean?
Gay marriage and rights.
If you gotta deport a few million people, fine.
Women's rights,
I mean,
concentrate.
You gotta break a few eggs in order to get them cheaper.
Otherwise known as concentration camps. Otherwise known as concentration camps. To get that.
It's been done
before. Yeah.
This isn't the first time in history it's been done.
It clearly works.
It's always gone over super well.
Oh yeah, super well.
Never regretted.
No regrets.
Always look back favorably by history as like just solid halcyon times.
There you go.
That's for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. But luckily, I have not been renditioned or disappeared yet, so I'm here to help. And
we are also here to help.
I thank you for calling me.
And we are grateful for your presence in these trying times. We're grateful for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do about a lot of stuff.
That's right.
And
but this
really learned that
is something
real.
We can do.
I learned it real hard.
Real good last week.
Yeah. Like I learned it with a bat to the head.
Oh my goodness.
But what has not changed is the fact that we are here to help people.
That's right.
And we do have that ability.
We do.
Especially in very specific circumstances where they ask us.
That's right. And we're going to do that. And so again, welcome. We have our 5 questions from our viewers today. We really had a lot of questions, as Green Pants was saying earlier. Most of them were why, and but we're not going to dive into those because there's a lot of talk on those, and we could probably go on for hours. But we focused on the ones that are legitimately causing people strife in their personal lives. So that's the ones we chose to pursue this week. So there you go.
Right, and there was also, and I will say, partially my fault.
Yes.
If we went down that path, I would most likely have a stroke midway through at some point. So out of my medical leave,
and just
I
fall over.
appreciate that we did. Yeah, no, I mean aneurysm, or stroke, it's something, but I mean definitely something. I'd be dead.
No, I hear you.
And so if we let's just like not do that, and we'll focus on the tough stuff, the individual cases,
exactly,
people who need our help.
Funny enough, I was not accused, but people pointed out, they're like, "Oh, you guys are in the same house, you live together." Like, there was some insinuation that we were something going on, but they thought we lived together, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, if Green Pants has a stroke right now, I would not be able to get to him in time because he is some distance away.
In fact, no one would get to me.
Right.
That's true. If I was to stroke out right now, There is no one awake where
Right.
I am
In the house.
right now
Right.
in the house.
I would call Mr. Green Pants
I
and the phone would go
I
unanswered.
am in an area separated as far away from the sleeping people as
Yes.
can be
Yes.
done in the house.
Yes.
It would take a loud cry of some kind to make anything
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, unless I scream, I will fall dead right here, and you can just watch me.
Right. So we're instead of that, we're going to answer
Right.
other types of questions. So that's what
Oh,
what
okay.
we chose to
I
do.
wasn't sure where we were going.
Yeah,
I just
no,
thought,
no. I
you
just
know,
wanted to make
we were just-
the we're working on the pro con list for making that clear. So our first question.
Oh, I guess you. Right.
Yeah. Our first question comes from Ken. Ken is from Little Rock, Arkansas.
All right.
A fine city. I love my girlfriend. That's nice. I acknowledge everyone has shortcomings, but I really need another opinion. My girlfriend grew up in a house where revenge and pettiness were normalized, and saying really nasty things were acceptable. She recently got into an argument with her neighbors where she told me she wishes they die, get cancer, are glad their mom died, deserved having their dad leave them, etc., all because of the situation that unfolded. I understand being angry, but I think there's a line that was more than crossed. I love her, and I suppose I can just accept that is how she is, but should I be more persistent in telling her this sort of behavior isn't normal or okay? Asks Ken from Little Rock, Arkansas. Ken.
Wow, coming across a little judgy, Ken. Why don't you fuck off and die in a fire? Okay. We're talking about shortcomings.
There it
Maybe
is.
we don't constantly talk about your tiny penis. When we're talking about shortcomings. How about that, Ken?
Oh, wow.
Listen,
Yeah.
I don't see this as a showstopper.
Okay. I would
I
leave.
think the
I would.
keyword there-
Yeah, go ahead.
The keyword is wish. She
Mhm.
wishes they'd get cancer. She wishes, but she's
Sure.
angry, and she probably does wish they could get cancer. But in her defense, they're probably awful.
Are they though? That's some presupposition on your part.
No, I don't know.
Right. See, this is where I'm going to say I would leave this
Where
woman.
does-
I would
yeah.
leave this woman. I think she has deep-seated anger issues, is what it is. And if she's not willing to get them addressed, then maybe you guys don't have a long-term future together. And when you say
Don't
you,
all women have deep-seated anger issues?
fair.
Okay.
No.
So fair.
But Ken, I would ask, like,
I-
you love her. Like, think about what you love about her, right? Because I don't know.
Right.
If for me, that would be a huge, that's a huge red flag for me. Because one day it's going to be you that she talks about this way. I can guarantee you.
Right, but when it's not
Guaranteed.
you, it's funny.
Sure. But one day it's going to be you.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's the
I'd work with her on it.
I would say revenge and pettiness that cannot be normalized in your relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say this definitely if she's doing the revenge and if she's being petty to you about stuff or I can totally see that. If it is just that when she gets angry, a lot of epithets come out that are of a particularly we'll just say dark nature.
Mhm.
That is not necessarily a showstopper for me.
Fine. I'll agree with that.
If
And
she
the-
wants to espouse now, if she was to actually go and on a murder spree, now okay,
Right.
now there's something to talk about.
And that's the difference. So I think that if you and I actually do advocate for people feeling how they feel. Like people are normally afraid of their nasty thoughts. This woman apparently has no hangups about that, which is in a way fantastic. But the thing is, like, there's the reaction, and then there's the rational mind that says, no, I don't want them to actually die, right?
Right.
But I just felt like that.
Right.
Like when I'm in traffic and this guy's driving like an ass, I'm like, I wish your car would just explode and like no longer be on the road. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And then I think, no, I don't actually want that, right? So I think that's the thing.
Then you
That's the
think,
gap
I
you need
kinda
to get
do.
I do not
And then
think that.
it would kind of need to happen before you could be like, actually, I didn't want that.
Actually, nobody
I'm
wanted
kind
that.
of liking it.
Okay.
No one wanted that. I don't know. Is it me?
Yes, it is. That is you. Yes. So I would work with her on it. I wouldn't give up on this because I'm telling you, dude. One day it's going to be you, and it's going to be the beginning of the end for your relationship. So hopefully you can get working on it now.
If there is deep-seated if this is actually behavior that is been completely normalized, then it's normalized in your relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, then that is a problem. But I'm just saying, just because someone can come up with a lot of extravagant ways that they would like people to suffer when they are wronged,
Mm-hmm.
would not necessarily act out on those,
Right.
is not necessarily all a bad thing.
It's
That's all
okay
I'm
to
saying.
react, and it's okay to feel the way you feel.
Right.
It's what the rational part of your brain actually follows up on is what really the key is, right? So,
Right.
so I think if you're
If you
having
don't
just
like
a
that,
nice, right,
Walk off a fucking cliff, Ken.
right. Go see what he did
I
there.
mean, I don't know.
I would like
So-
say she's happy, you're having a nice peaceful dinner together, and say, so, if the neighbors die, would you be happy? And she would go, oh, absolutely, they need to burn in hell. Okay, then that's
Right. Well, no. If she said, "Thank God, Ken, hold on, I have a shovel in the back.
Right,
I've been waiting to
we're
bring
doing
this up
this
for
right
months.
now.
Thank you for
Thank you,
finally
Ken.
saying something.
You truly
I have
love me."
everything that we need, including lie.
Wow.
Like first, and even if that happened, I'd be like, I would take a step back and be a little marveled at the ingenuity and apparently that she,
the
watched
determination of this woman.
watched several seasons of Breaking Bad, and just like that's great.
That's right.
I like initiative.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, so I think this should be addressed, and you should not let it go. So Ken, good luck. We wish you luck. Hopefully she's open to this kind of discussion. So all right, moving on. Marcus from Boise, Idaho. Is it Boise or Boise City, or are they two different places?
No, it's
Boise,
Boise, Idaho is just it's
not
just
Boise City.
There is
There's a Boise City.
Boise City is I thought that's a separate.
Separate place?
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah,
Anyway.
I'm gonna have to check on the internet with that one.
Anyway, Marcus is there. The land of potatoes. Fantastic. Let's see. My 6-year-old loves to pretend play with cars, army guys, and various Lego sets, and he'll often ask me to play with him. However, when he hands me a car, or whatever the toy du jour is that's mine to play with control, and I start to play with it in the scenario he set up, everything I do is met with a no, don't do it like that. It gets to the point where I generally don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, which is not super fun for me. What should I do? Asked Marcus. He's 6.
Marcus, he's 6, man.
What the fuck,
He's 6.
Marcus?
Here's the thing
You're
with
getting
pretend play,
agitated
Marcus.
because your 6-year-old isn't playing the way you want him to.
Here's the thing,
Wow.
Marcus. Your kid has absolutely no idea what you should be doing.
Correct.
Like he's 6. Just fucking go with it, man.
Right.
6. Low stakes. Whether if whether
I mean,
or
do
not,
you yeah, does he
goes
have,
vroom vroom with the car, or,
Right.
the
Or
car goes beep beep. I'm
Exactly.
not sure
doesn't matter.
where the conflict is coming in.
Yeah, because like, what's your stake outcome in this whole thing, Marcus? Like, what are you?
Right. I mean, because
how dare you
matter
tell
what
me
you-
how to play?
because Marcus, you are the adult in this situation. This is a
Yes.
6-year-old child.
We hope
So if you're not having fun,
that's okay that you're not having
you're-
fun.
you are in the position of power in this situation.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
At any point, you can walk away.
Right.
Like-
And Marcus, the way he's saying, like, because I used to do that all the time too, actually, and I'm doing like that because he has like this imagery, his imagination's like running crazy, how kind of how things are. Like, learn about it. Learn about your son, like, about
Right,
what he
exactly.
thinks and how he's motivated and what drives him and what his dreams look like. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
what a great opportunity to learn from him. It's like,
I did that with my son with Pokemon, and now I'm thousands of dollars poorer
just
because apparently
that's what
to
happens.
learn about
yeah.
stuff. That's
right.
That's what happens.
That's right.
But
Oh,
we've bonded, and that's the important thing.
bond with your son.
So,
Marcus. So don't worry about it.
yes.
You're doing the right thing. You're playing with the kid, which is a
pretend
good stuff.
play is just that. It is.
It's pretend.
It's pretend. So doesn't.
Yep.
He'll be fine.
I think so too. All right, yeah, just switch your perspective on that one a little bit. What
Yeah,
the purpose is. All right,
Just-
our next one come here. Who's this? This is Rachel. Rachel from Portland, Oregon. Rachel says our daughter is 2 years old and was born with a double earlobe, and we think it's super cute. The doctors have warned it could signify issues with hearing or with her kidneys, but so far all tests have been normal and it appears to be cosmetic only. We think she looks adorable the way she is. I can't help worrying she may be teased in the future because kids can be mean. Our pediatrician told us it could be easily fixed. I wonder if she will just wish we had taken care of it earlier, but it's so hard to know. I guess my holdup is asking us if she wasn't perfect just how she was. I guess my holdup is her asking us if she wasn't perfect just how she was. Oh, I see. Rachel from Portland, Oregon. Rachel.
Oh, good God, Rachel.
Ear,
Really?
ear surgery for the 2-year-old.
Okay. Well, no. Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah, you fix it. You fix it.
Really?
With
I
yeah,
I
yes,
wasn't going that way. I was going...
absolutely. With these
Huh.
cosmetic, I've seen it happen both ways. Where when you're because a child is born and they have something that can really be super easily fixed when
Sure.
they're small,
Sure.
and if it's not, it could, as they grow older, really turn something that turns into a complication because you don't know how it's going to grow, how it's going to, So most of the time, the pediatricians would be like, "Look, we can, let us fix this. We can do it real quick, 2 stitches, and it's done."
Okay.
Rather than because if she has a double earlobe and this later causes her problems, and her parents say, well, we thought it was cute,
Yeah.
and and we liked you just the way you were.
Yeah.
But I had a double fucking earlobe, and you said you could get it fixed, and now I've got to go in and I've got to get major surgery
And take
because I have
time
to have
off
half
of
my face removed.
and take time off of school and take like all this
Right.
thing. Yeah. No, you're convincing me. I guess you're convincing.
I mean,
Yeah, get it
especially if
fixed.
it's like, if the doctors are at all warning, even if, yeah, maybe it's cosmetic only, but these things, yes, people are perfect the way they are. We should all like each other. No, this is a birth defect that can be
Yeah.
fixed. It's like you have a cavity. It's not, oh, we're all
Sure.
bad because you fucking fix it.
Right.
Like,
No, I'm with you now. I'm with you.
I love my teeth all the same, but you know what? One gets a hole in it,
You
fill up the
fix
hole.
it, right? You fill the fucking
So
hole.
if I mess something up in the directions, you know what? Rebuild it, fix it up a little bit.
Yep.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's a reasonable.
Excuse me.
I don't think that it's a fear that has any reasonable chance of it happening. Like of her,
Thing. How
daughter-
dare you take away my double earlobe that would have made me distinctive?
right? Because then she would never know what it was like. Yeah,
Right.
'cause
It's not like it's Cindy Crawford's mole or anything, right? This is a
right. Right. Yeah. Well,
Lobe.
then that you would didn't have it. Yeah. But
I'm gonna go with you. Get
yeah,
it.
do you
Get it
disagree?
fixed. Get it fixed. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
because this is. I mean, yeah, this isn't. I wouldn't think of this is like surgery on a child. This is like
Correcting a birth
exterior.
defect.
It is not, and it does not require endoscopy, any sort of like
Right.
incisions inside.
Invasive,
It literally is
yeah,
like,
it's
it's not touching any
Right.
organs of any kind or whatever. So,
So there you go.
thanks, Rachel.
So there you go, Rachel. Get that ear
Right.
fixed. Get that ear fixed. That is our opinion. I can't imagine. Oh, but then I could have had like this cool earring. How dare you, mom and dad, take away my
No
double
one is
earlobe?
ever gonna say that ever.
I know.
'Cause
I
it'd be
don't think so either.
oh, your perfectly normal earlobe? Yeah, it wasn't that way.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, like yeah, just because, especially like I watched kids that had different things that they had it adjusted when they were like in high school,
Yeah.
and it was like this could have been done
Pain in
when
the
I was
ass.
2,
Right.
and it could have been done like
Yeah, you're right.
I wouldn't even remember,
The-
I wouldn't know it.
Right.
It would have been like 2 stitches in the back, and
Right.
now I have to have major surgery,
Yeah.
and all
The
this stuff.
downsides are waiting. The potential downsides are waiting are much higher than the potential downsides of just getting it done.
Right. Right.
So there you go, Rachel. Good luck. And good luck for that earlobe. Maybe save the earlobe, like put it in a box or something. You know what I mean? Like
Don't do that. That's disgusting. What is
then
wrong
you
with
could
you?
give
What?
your child the earlobe. Here's your extra earlobe that we took
It would
off.
be a desiccated husk.
Of an earlobe.
It would.
Yes. You could pickle it. You could put it in a preservation solution and pickle it. And then give it to your child on their 18th birthday. Here's your earlobe.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
What happens next?
You know. And the child screams.
Right. It says, "Oh my God, what is this?
What is wrong with
happening?
you? Why are you giving me a body part?
Everything I know is wrong.
Right.
I had no idea.
My
I
parents
could
are
raise my
insane.
monsters. This has been in our house my whole fucking life. Oh my God.
Yes. Next to the the condiments in the refrigerator.
This has been sitting in the bottom freezer right next to
Yes.
the ice cream.
Yes.
All along.
Yes, the
Like,
whole
not
time
cool.
with the earlobe. All right, maybe don't do that. All right, moving on. So Penelope from Palo Alto, California says, I am super close to
Oh,
graduating university. 22-year-old female. Congratulations, Penelope. I've always been one to play it safe with my looks, but now I really want to do something bold like dye my hair bright pink. Do you think I should go for it? How do you handle big aesthetic changes at a young age, and did it affect your opportunities? Any tips on how to manage the judgment from others if there is any? Thank you, guys. Penelope from Palo Alto.
First off, fuck others. Their judgments are stupid. Also, you live in California, okay? You live right next to Berkeley, where
Yeah.
I think the acceptance level is going to be particularly high, even
Yes.
if you decide you want to start walking around with a plate in your lip. You know what? It'll be fine.
Wow, you went totally lip disc right there.
But I'm just saying, I myself, as you know, have made like huge aesthetic changes.
Have you though? Stop wearing the flannel. That's something you've done.
No,
Go ahead.
I went from green pants to sometimes khaki pants.
Yeah, that was a big step for you, actually.
I changed my hat. I used to have a fish hat
Yes.
only.
Yes.
Now
That's a different hat.
It branches out into.
What is your
different-
hat, by the way? Now it's. What does
This
it
one,
say?
it says Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos hat.
It's a little
Nice,
scuba
'cause
diver.
you're scuba
Yes,
diver, yeah,
it's a
you're scuba diving, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So that was a major change, getting used to the new headwear.
Sure, absolutely.
And then, yeah, I mean, I wear long sleeve shirts when it's cold.
Sure.
Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like people are like, "Whoa, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's me. I just have
just
long
different
sleeves."
shirt, yeah.
So,
And I cut off
I get it.
Remember I cut off my mullet.
yep, that was
big. That was
something
big.
that
Big
we
step.
all. Oh, speaking of
Big
that,
step.
I actually have that pickled in my basement.
My mullet.
Your mullet, yeah. We cut
appreciate
it off,
that.
and I don't know if you knew that, but I saved it
I didn't know
because I'm a
that.
normal person,
No, I think that's great.
and I pickled it and
Pickled
put it
my
in a jar,
mullet.
and it says Joe's mullet, 1996. So if you want that,
my
it's just,
pickled mullet.
I've got that for you.
That was great. I'm one of those few people. It's like, you look at those like old pictures from you from the past. Oh my God, you look so good. You were so young. It's like, no, it was like, regardless of how
It's
you
still
think
just
I look
hair.
right. I know it's not just hair. I know, but regardless of how people think I look now, I look 10 times better than I did when I was in college. It's my belief. So what does that say?
I think you are too harsh
I am
on yourself.
I am
but
pretty harsh on
they-
myself. I am a butterface. I'm a self-admitted butterface.
But
So,
oh my,
yeah.
Mrs. Greenpants is going to go crazy again.
Oh
about
right, she
if
did
we
get very
use that-
agitated. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so I mentioned that before.
okay.
I shared my butterface test, and Mrs. Greenpants actually text ranted me for like 2 days and wouldn't let it go. So I really gotta be careful.
And
If
if
I,
you can imagine what it was like for me, as
I know you're
because
right.
I didn't even.
I was
yeah,
only thinking
that-
of myself. I didn't think of you and how this impacts you. I'm sorry.
And it
about
was
my
it
butterface
was
nature.
after that I stopped suggesting that maybe she go back and
Watch the
what
show,
she missed.
right?
You know, now it's like no, it was nothing. It was fine. It
Well,
was all
clearly
good.
you can't recommend her to
no
watch
reason.
this particular show.
No, well, no. This is not for her.
Right.
Okay.
The show's
This
now
is
dead
not-
for her. Right. This is not for
This
Mrs.
is not-
Greenpants.
This is not for Mrs. This is not her thing.
It's
at
not.
all.
It's not. What's happening right now is not her thing.
Absolutely not.
What were we talking about, by the way? Oh yeah. So Penelope, color
major
your
aesthetic
hair.
changes.
Color your hair. Go
Yeah,
nuts.
absolutely.
It's like, especially
It's
today.
reversible.
Like, right. Like even if I go to the bank and like the teller has like pink hair, it's like whatever. Nobody thinks about it anymore. You got tattoo
Right,
going up
seriously.
your neck. It's like nobody gives a shit anymore. It's like not a thing. You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
feel that more.
express yourself how you
More
feel.
people are inked than ever.
Yeah.
And in terms of like,
Yeah.
as the age range younger, because whereas sometimes people like had a tattoo or whatever, I like almost all the new people that have like visible tattoos
Right.
of some kind,
Right.
like on arms, ankles, that.
Right.
But it's just sort of like, oh,
Which
that-
I'm personally not a big fan of, but again, to each their own. For them to choose.
I cannot think of anything I could possibly put on my body that
Yes.
I would know I'd even want there tomorrow.
Right.
Much
Let
less
alone
in
10
20
years from now. Right. Exactly.
Like, I
know.
mean, I regret things way faster than that. And
Yes.
so there is, I mean, it's like,
Regret
yeah,
is
I can't,
rapid.
absolutely, I mean,
Again, people who do it,
and-
fantastic. I mean,
I also don't have the complexion for it. I don't know.
I know.
just
You
think,
really don't. Yeah, you're kind of pasty.
I also don't want a needle rapidly going in and out of my skin as it injects ink
Like a
under
sling
my
knife.
subdermis. Yeah, that sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
Um,
Each their own.
even if I get a pretty picture at the end.
That's right. Penelope, go nuts. Express yourself. Whatever you feel, go for it. If it doesn't work, try something else. That's the magic of this.
Get some gauges. Just expand those earlobes.
Yeah.
Just
well, let's put the temper on it now.
I'm a big fan of expansion.
There
body
are
modification.
I was gonna say there are
keep
limits.
filed.
Like, I would say, hair, fair game. Pretty much whatever you want is fine. Hair and makeup,
Reconstructive surgery.
fine. Right.
Fine.
I'm talking when we get to lip disc. I mean, if that's really what you want, fine. But just understand, there's going to be
Takes a lot of time.
There's going to be societal reaction to you walking around with a lip disc. Like,
But you
we're
can't
talking
just
like
walk into lip disc. No. Remember, that
lip
takes
disc.
an entire lifetime.
It's like does it? It takes. I know. I mean, but even when you start with the starter lip disc, which is like.
Yeah, well, it's like gauges in your ears.
Right.
You get bigger and bigger and bigger
Right.
ones. You don't start. You start
And
with the little
the
ones.
neck extenders, the rings, right? You can get those too.
Yeah. Exactly.
This one.
You know,
Yeah,
so you want to get reconstructive surgery, make yourself look like a cat. Great.
I would not recommend that.
You know,
That's my personal thing. A lot below, like you said, with the tattoo, right? I'm pretty against, but again, teach their own. I get it. But my advice, if someone asked me my advice, I would say, don't do anything permanent to your body because you might decide, I didn't want to do that in 10 years, and then you're stuck.
But the thing is, I saw this documentary with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta called Face Off.
Face Off, yeah,
where,
that's why they replaced
a lot
the
of this stuff
faces.
is a lot easier than you would think. Like you can, it's like just
that actually
with a cloth and a couple hours. It's like
Right.
literally, it's like you're a different person.
no scars.
So I can't. Yeah,
They had no scars. Yeah,
No,
that movie
no
was very
swelling.
unrealistic. There was swelling and scars. It's horrible.
You think it was
horrible.
unrealistic?
Very.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Really?
Especially how their voices also transferred with the faces.
Yeah, and
Like, how did that even happen?
I mean, of course that's possible now, but like 30 years ago, yeah, that probably was.
It's still not possible.
ridiculous.
It still can't be done. No, you can't do
Come
face
on,
off.
medical science.
Face
is
off,
there.
face off cannot be real today. You cannot do face off. I know.
All right, so
We cannot swap faces. Actually, we have swapped
all
faces,
changes.
and I'm really green pants, and he's like, no, we didn't do that. That's not true.
See? Magic.
So,
and we do live in the same house.
we
and-
do not live in the same house.
And he is sitting right here, right there. If I could just turn the camera, he's right there.
We'll lean into the frame. No, see, it didn't work.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. So I'd be hesitant with permanent body modifications, Penelope, but otherwise, go nuts. So
Yeah, absolutely. Strong
Yeah.
agree.
even
Like,
piercings will heal, right? From going nuts on
No,
piercings.
any of that stuff. I would say just stay away from just anything that can be reversed.
Yes.
You know, either through time or just through whatever. You know,
Right.
but so like piercings, they just grow back in. They're fine.
Yep.
But large inking, I would say I wouldn't say get a whole sleeve.
Or on
Of
the don't
tattoos.
get tattoo on your face.
Just don't start with facial tattoos.
Don't put tattoo on your
unless
face.
unless they're teardrops for every person you've killed. Then that's just badass.
Wasn't that a Johnny Depp movie? What was it called? Crybaby? Remember that? Remember that movie?
No, that's just a thing. Like in the Crips and the Bloods, they
In the
put a
Crips, they
teardrop.
put the
for every
teardrop.
time-
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What else is I think is not a good? I
Cover
think,
mine up with makeup before this
I
thing.
think there's even with piercings, right? They can get to the point like, and I know it's not right? Again, freedom to express ourselves, but the thing that like makes people look and like raises the eyebrow, there's still societal standards, right? And I think if you have something like the giant bull ring with a chain going to your ear, you know what I mean? It's like
But that's very
a
much
little
depending on
much.
where you live. If you're an
Maybe.
Aborigine in Australia,
Totally
that's
normal.
totally normal.
I get it. Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
you
but
know what
I
mean? In
I think even Palo
in
Alto,
areas of
you would
Sudan where that's happening.
right. You would turn heads in Palo Alto even. I think that's a little
Right.
up there, right? Like the ones with
But you do you.
what are people that what's the one like most extreme one that I saw is like people get the you get the barbell right through the like up
Yeah.
here.
Yes, and that's
I've
just a
seen
piercing
people
through
get the
thing.
barbells as like gates over the eyes. It's like barbell like 3 barbells per eye that go up and down and like are kind of like a gate to your yeah. Do not
That's so
recommend that.
stupid.
I do not recommend it. It does not. It looks odd.
Did you ask those people why?
I did
Yeah,
not.
there
It was
was,
a passing relationship. It was not a.
This is true story. Is that in Little Green Pants's one of Little Green Pants's classes? There's a child whose father I have gone on several field trips with, and I looked at him and he has very, very, very strange eyes, and I could not figure out what it could be that it
Probably
was,
has a
but
glass
I
eye.
was
He has a
very-
glass eye, right?
it was So I couldn't, but both of his eyes were they were similar, but they were. I was like, I didn't want to say anything. I
Yeah,
didn't want to.
yeah,
I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Uh, fifth time I met him, he was like, hey, you never talk about my cat contact lenses.
oh, he's got
Like,
cat
oh, they
eyes.
look fucking awesome. Cat contact lenses. I was like, I thought you had a medical problem. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude.
I'm a
When you walk in
cat.
with cat, I feel I know you well enough now to know that. See, when I met you, I didn't go, oh, that guy's a cat. Like those are
Right.
cat eyes. I went, oh, that's a human being that has something fucked up with his eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's
again,
like,
you can at least you can undo the cat contacts, right?
yeah, he just
Take 'em right out.
now his. Oh my God, you have regular eyes.
Your regular eyes. Welcome.
Oh my God, you have human eyes. Holy shit.
Thought you were a cat.
You could see, yeah.
If it's
But every time I
meow,
was like,
meow.
I was always questioning, like, can he see like in light? Because it was like you couldn't see his pupils, and it was
Oh.
like black. It was just like, it was kind of like I was wondering, like,
That's
does he have
odd.
dip fit? But I don't want to say anything. Like,
And
you
then
know.
I gotta say too, maybe I'm ranting on this too much, but there's a difference between expressing yourself and like deliberately fucking with people. Like, let me see if I could do something weird to myself that'll just get people to stare. You know what I mean?
I think
that
he'd been wearing them
necessary?
for so long that he just thought they were normal at this point.
Natural.
But he was
Okay, I
kind of
see.
like,
I see.
he's like, yeah, I've noticed that you've never mentioned. And it's like, because I didn't think that was a thing, but of course I should have known that was a thing. Like in hindsight,
Clearly.
of course you had cat contact lenses.
Of course you have
on.
cat contact lenses,
That's what
right.
that was.
Yeah.
And I stupidly had the taboo of thinking something's wrong. Look, let's not stare. Let's not stare at the guy who purposely put fucking cat
Cat contact lenses.
contact lenses in his eyes. So,
Oh my goodness. Oh, Super J's here, by the way. Hello, Super J. We love you,
hey, Super J.
and we always are happy when you come in and speak to us.
And
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if and maybe Super J can weigh in here, but if you met someone for the first time and they just had cat's eyes and you did not know why, would you automatically actually see? I didn't know that they were cat's eyes. I just thought they
Right.
were weird eyes
Weird
until
pupil eyes.
he
yeah.
told me they were cat's contact lenses, and it
And
was
like,
like,
okay, your
that's
cat
what's
eyes.
happening. And then I could like, it was
Piece
almost
it
like looking at
together.
one of those pictures where is it like, is it an old lady or is it a beautiful woman? You know,
Right.
and it's like the way you switch your perspective.
Or is it?
It's like, oh,
Or is that the Virgin Mary and my grilled cheese?
right, exactly. You know,
What's that?
is this a miracle or is this just
right.
food?
Yes. So Super J
Always
says
just
she
food.
Super J got a nose ring at 40 and still loves it after 10 years. So yeah, absolutely. But again, you can undo your nose
But that's
ring if
fine.
you really decide you don't like it.
Yeah,
someday.
yeah. You can just anytime you want to take it out, take it out.
Right. Again, I don't recommend you get like a big tattoo of like a skull on half your face, right? So you have like half skull, half face.
Or you just be, or you could be like Two Face. You just get like,
You could do that too, right? Again,
Yeah.
not recommended because you can't undo
right.
it. And
You can flip a coin.
you're
to
walking
decide.
around your two face, right?
Right. That one face has been hit with acid. It's not cool.
Right. Yeah, determined you're
Um,
always gonna be two faced. Who wants that?
But-
But anyway,
In
so
short, small stakes.
small stakes, Penelope, go
Reversible
nuts.
changes. Start small. And then after that, move on to full plate lip.
Excellent summary. Thank you, your fans. Good luck, Penelope. Send us pics if you do
Okay.
anything out there. Get sends before and afters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Jillian. This next question comes from Jillian from Point St. Lucie, Florida. Let's see. Jillian says, Point St. Lucie. My boyfriend keeps yelling at me when we play video games. We are long distance, so gaming is one of our only forms of interacting, and he's always yelling at me. We are playing League of Legends. I find it so boring. I don't like this game at all, and I keep trying to play another game, but he refuses. I've been building coasters in Planet Coaster. I tried to show him, but he wants me to play League of Legends. Now we are losing every game because I hate it, and he's calling me trash. His other friends are here, and I think that's
Jesus
one.
Christ.
I think that's one reason why he's being this way. What should I do, Jillian? I wish you would have told me your age because that would have answered a lot of your questions. I'm guessing 19.
Because the worst thing about League of Legends, as everyone is known, is the players.
Right.
Like that's everything that it has a.
Also, League of Legends
it's
is so old school now. It's like I can't believe you're still playing League of Legends, but
League of Legends still has 150 million active users.
I know it's popular. I know.
It's but you get people it is the community of people just like flaming, trolling. It's just like this toxic soup, and especially if she's a woman that's going in there.
Yeah.
I can see her that driving her absolutely nuts. But my question is, your long distance and your way of connection is him playing League of Legends and calling you trash? Like,
Yeah.
perhaps you should re-examine your relationship and ask yourself some of the tough questions, such as, why am I logging on, hang with this guy, and play
Right.
this fucking
Right.
what is it, a MOBA, massive
MOBA.
online battle arena?
Battle arena. It might be time to reconsider your relationship. Isn't like getting
Right.
out of it because
Right. Because it doesn't sound like it'll be too hard. All you have to do is log off.
right.
Like, if that's it.
Correct.
You know what? You know, new phone, who dis?
Right.
Like,
A
you
new
know,
phone.
I don't know how long distance, but you know,
That's a
if-
Mrs.
if
Greenpantsism right there.
yeah, if your relationship is simply about is mainly taken up by online League of Legends, and the person who's your boyfriend does not even respect you,
Right.
yeah,
The fact that
think
you're
maybe-
even
maybe-
willing, yeah, the fact that you're even willing to,
maybe you did.
Yeah.
And I think you should ditch this guy.
Yeah.
Because
oh my god, so
you know,
actually, I would dispute Guy. You're dating a child, is what it sounds like. You're dating
well, again,
the
yes.
maturity of a
Since the-
child,
we don't know. He could be a 68-year-old man,
right? And have
she
the
could
maturity
be-
of a child.
a 37-year-old woman.
Ooh, all
And
right,
we
tell
don't
me
know.
more.
And she has.
I've
this-
watched
she's
that
with
movie.
this- yeah, and there's she's got this. And she's got a septuagenarian in a wheelchair that
Right.
plays League of
That plays
Legends
League
all
of
day.
Legends.
Rrrr.
Right.
And he's in a home.
And he's getting
and
owned by
she,
14-year-olds.
His girlfriend. Right.
Right.
Meanwhile, his girlfriend, who's mid-30s, works as a successful advertising company in
Attractive.
the city,
Power
as
woman,
you do. Right.
dresses in pantsuits. hmm
And they have a relationship that consists
Yeah.
entirely of playing League of Legends online,
Right.
and never ever Planet Coaster. That was the saddest part of this whole thing.
Yes,
The fact that he didn't even want to check out her coasters.
correct.
I bet
I would
you-
totally
I bet
check
you
out your
Jillian-
coaster.
I would Jillian. I
would look at your
check
coaster.
out
I would ride your
coasters.
coaster.
I would
That
check
came
out
out
your
weird.
coasters so hard.
Not well.
I would.
Now hold on.
I would.
We're not hitting on Jillian here.
I don't. This isn't coming right. I mean, I'm just saying, if you made a coaster,
I would ride Jillian's
I-
coaster.
right. I mean, like for fun,
Yes,
in a consensual way.
and a platonic
But
way,
I mean,
of
even
course,
even if a
because
coaster was like,
Jillian
everyone
clearly
would
has a
have to
boyfriend.
agree that on the ground rules for the
and
coaster,
riding the coaster.
and how high the coaster was going to go, how fast the coaster was going to go, you
How
know,
quickly it was going to go up and down on the coaster.
exactly.
that-
You'd want to give the coaster a safe word.
Of course.
Always
Always throw the safe word.
simple, basic, just kind of housekeeping kind of stuff. I think we
Yes.
said too much.
We really have.
Um,
Sorry, Jillian. Hope you're.
so,
Hope
Jillian,
you're over
yeah,
18.
League of Legends. Yeah, assuming you're over 18. Oh, are you a child? Fuck.
Right.
Okay.
If we're here a child, we take back everything.
You didn't tell us. You're supposed to tell us.
Oh, it's your age, Julian. But anyway, your boyfriend sounds very immature, so I'm thinking you're pretty young, and I'm thinking he's pretty young. So and he's probably immature for his age. So yeah, the fact that you were trying to play with him is a really great gesture and a good bonding thing, right? And the fact that he's
Right.
taking advantage of that and just dissing you for not playing the way, fuck him. I mean, seriously,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like,
Is that? I mean,
jerk.
yeah, because a lot of guys would love to have a partner like
Right.
playing video games with.
Like,
them.
I'll play
The least
games with
can
you.
do is,
Great.
treat them well. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes, and oh, you play this
So-
game and you're interested in it? Let me check out what you're doing in there. I'd love to see it. I'd love to share in something that you enjoy, right?
So, Jillian, please DM us and send us a link, and we will check out your coasters.
Yeah, you're doing it again. But yes, we will.
We'll. Okay. It's speed round.
Yeah. Speed
It's your
round. Is it?
Yeah, it's speed
Are you
round.
sure it's my
Yep.
turn?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it absolutely is your turn.
Oh my god, son of a goat. Oh wait, we're not unpacking.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Doing this. Doing that. Shite. All right, let's get ready for speed. Is it seriously my turn?
Good luck, Jillian.
I thought
Yes,
you were
it is
kidding.
absolutely your turn.
Oh shit.
Oh.
All right, hold on. I gotta put the minute on the timer. So we're doing speed run now, which is 5 rapid fire questions. We have 1 minute to do it, and it's apparently my turn. So
You have 1 minute to do it.
I have 1 minute to do it.
In this
And,
case.
and Green Pants is going to
Yeah.
read the. I'm going to start the timer when Green Pants finishes reading the.
I will read the first
First
question, and when I get to the end of
question.
it, the timer will start, and it will end long
Yeah.
after the timer finishes because Vanguard can't stop pontificating.
No, that's you.
On
We did not do
reason
we did not do face off.
That is not. You are
So I am
projecting.
truly me, and you
You are
are truly you,
You are
and
projecting at
you're the one that goes on ad nauseum during speed
Okay.
round.
starting.
It's like-
Question 1.
oh shit! Right.
What
Go.
would your friends and family think happened if you were arrested without any explanation?
Oh, some sex thing, for sure.
Have you ever gone skinny dipping before? And if yes, why the fuck?
Absolutely.
You have. Okay.
Well, yeah, we're going
What's the first thing you do when you're bored?
beat off.
Who is objectively the worst transformer?
Botanica from Beast Wars. She turns into a plant.
That is
No
correct.
question.
Excellent.
No question.
And finally, what is your weapon of choice for the coming apocalypse?
Ooh, coming apocalypse, like just like general chaos in the world. Or...
Zombie
oh,
apocalypse.
zombie apocalypse in particular. Oh man, that's a good one. I got 12 seconds left, so I can take some time to think of this one. So many fun ones. I guess I gotta go with the chainsaw.
Chainsaw?
Or a fuel. I go no, because you're running axe. Oh, no, baseball bat. Done. Final answer.
Baseball bat with like Negan style with the
No.
with the spikes in it.
No, the spikes are dangerous
no,
actually because
or-
what happens is if you with the spikes, it can get stuck in the zombie, so then you can't hit the next zombie, and then you'll get your brain.
thought
eaten.
about this.
I have. I have.
Wow.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
baseball.
I would have said I would say a Benelli M4 tactical shotgun with 6 rounds in a chamber. So it's 6-round magazine and 1 in the chamber.
Fair
That
to-
would be like
Fair to think, but that's why I turned back on the chainsaw because you eventually run out of fuel. The gun, you eventually run out of ammo. So the bat is the gift that keeps on giving.
right. Okay, yes. If you've only got one, I mean, if it works for Harlequin, you know,
Harley Quinn, yeah.
or sometimes she has a big hammer.
From
but
Batman fame, yes. Got a big hammer.
All right. So if you were to be arrested, it would be someone would think it was something sexual. That's what-
Yeah, some such thing. Like either I downloaded something accidentally I shouldn't have, or like, yeah, seriously, or like
all of a sudden you're telling everyone that you're on the National Sex Registry.
me someone right. It's like that I don't want because that is not my thing.
I'm sorry, I have to tell you this,
Yeah,
but
accidentally.
I
oh,
just
and
did-
Somlin's here.
I
Somlin.
clicked the link.
Yeah, exactly. It's send you links. It would definitely be something like that, and people would hear that and they go, "Oh, of course." You know, it'd be-
Yeah.
What about
No,
you?
yeah, for me, it would almost definitely be the repercussions of an argument that got out of hand over a discussion about a magical cracker and like the meaning of behind it.
It's a wafer. It's a
Possibly
wafer.
with a person holding a sign. It's unleavened bread.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, unleavened.
I've there have been situations in that, especially where I am accosted
Yes.
in cities by
Yes.
people telling me about the various locations in hell where I will burn.
Yes.
I generally have a retort with them
Yes.
until it is broken up by either my wife or a police officer.
Right.
So-
of course.
So yeah, so that would probably be definitely the reason.
That's
Or
great.
drugs.
Or
know.
Well, I think so. I think that's the given. Yeah. I mean, but that's why
Yeah,
you have
I
the
mean-
cyanide tooth. Right.
Right, exactly.
You're prepared
Yeah.
at any point in
You
time.
crack down right at any point. Always have your back to a wall.
Mr. Greenpants,
always
we would like to
your-
ask you a few questions, please. Oh God, just questions.
Oh yeah.
What did
Yep,
he do?
sorry. Oh, sucks to be you. Sucks to suck. But I'm sorry, your witness is dead. What? Cyanide tooth.
What else did you have? Skinny dipping. Yeah,
skinny
why are we so
dipping.
for skinny
No.
dipping? I've done it.
It's
It's great.
Bathing suits are a thing.
No.
It is not. I don't understand.
A wet
what
bathing.
is
There's
the
nothing worse
draw?
than a wet bathing suit because you got to pull a wet bathing suit off. We have Mrs. Vanguard and I have a hot tub on the deck. We're naked all the time. We never use bathing suits in the hot tub.
Yes, I don't really I guess if it's in your own, I don't really consider it skin. I think of more skinny dipping as like out somewhere, like
Yeah, we've done
in
that too.
Public.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we've done that too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I've.
Friends who have lake houses and stuff, we just throw out the clothes and jump in. It's the best. It's very liberating. Yeah, and Salmon agrees. Super J agrees with me.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I am. Bathing suits are a thing, and I, for one, would be happy if we were back in the early 20s, where people had full body
I see.
bathing suits.
I see.
With
Yeah. Covers the
they
men.
were more
The
called
men
bathing
nipples were
suits that-
covered.
yeah, exactly.
Stripes.
I think I would have been yes.
You get it. You get it.
The question about being bored, to me, it was a trick question because I have not been bored since 2011.
Oh, never. I was
Like,
taking it from the perspective of like what a normal person would define as bored. But right, I haven't
But
I haven't been
clearly,
bored.
We are not normal people.
No,
That's what
I
I'm
know.
saying. That's
I
why
can't.
it's a
I can't
question.
remember the last like bored. Almost never. Like
Never.
my conscious adult life, I've never been bored. I've always had shit.
Yeah,
I'm always behind on shit.
So
and I have shit
there's
I have
always-
to do.
exactly. There's
Yeah.
always something where because if I'm ever sitting in a location where I would have time to be bored, I would be thinking, "Oh my God, why am I not doing X, Y, and Z?"
Right.
And
There's so much shit
oh
to do.
shit, my kid's on a bench waiting to be picked up for the last hour.
Right.
You know,
Right.
those are the types of
Exactly.
things. It's like I don't want Child Protective Services to come again. You know,
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
it's just like it's the small
Yes.
things that you just
Yes.
So yeah, never
Yeah, never bored. Never bored.
Um,
Never bored. But my
Bored as a
my
kid,
my
yeah.
go-to when things
Yeah.
like ebb is the masturbation,
which yeah,
as one does.
I yeah, well yeah, and that you can do whether or not that's always good for every day, just for a something to do.
Right. And Super
worst
J
Transformer-
Super J raises the point that like, especially in today's world, how can they be bored when the sum of human knowledge is at our fingertips? And like,
Right.
you can look up
Well,
anything and learn about
and-
anything at will, or watch a videos or unlimited number of whatevers and entertainment and all this other stuff.
Right,
So it's
because
literally
once doom scrolling became a thing, whether or
Yeah.
not you're on TikTok or Instagram
Yeah.
or Reels or whatever,
Yeah.
the fact that you can stare at a screen and watch 15-second content that you don't know what's getting served up next, but it's only
Right.
15 seconds, and your brain's like,
Right.
all right,
I'll
I
do
can
it.
take anything for 15
I'll
seconds.
take the dopamine hit.
And then 17 hours later,
Yes,
after the
correct.
government of China has all of your personal information and has the blood types of your children, and all you've watched, so many
Yes.
different, dogs get scared by cucumbers, or
Right.
cats get scared by
Right.
cucumbers, or
And you-
people
like-
unboxing things, and
And
you're
then
like,
you
"Why-
go, oh
why
god!
did I-"
And then people who react to unboxing videos,
Right.
and people who react to
Reaction
people
ones.
reacting to the unboxing videos.
reaction videos,
Oh,
like
yeah.
there's just too much YouTube.
That's why when my children were younger and they said, "Oh, bored," I just wanted to shake them, and I'm like,
Right.
"You're not doing it right if you're bored." It's-
And yes, and I am not here to entertain you. Like,
Correct. Like my generation created the internet, so you could freaking use it. So use it. It's like,
Yes. Yeah, generation created the internet for porn, and that is why
Well, that is true,
50%
too.
of the internet
That
is
is true,
porn.
too.
And then they also used it for some government. They used it for some government stuff and some educational stuff and porn.
yes,
And
yes,
then they commercialized it because of porn.
that's right.
And without porn,
I was talking
we
to
wouldn't have our
somebody.
series of tubes.
Exactly. I was talking to somebody about the first cell phone camera that came up one in the early. I think it was Motorola had maybe the first one.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. But like, and somebody's like, I wonder what like the first picture I took. And I'm like, oh, I can almost guarantee it was a dick. I can-
Probably. Oh my god.
Said,
I
hey
can
Bob,
do
here
this,
it
I can
works.
send it.
Hey, check this out. The guy's like, fuck you,
Holy
Henry.
This fits ideally with my toxic masculinity. This is awesome. Hey,
Hey guys.
who are some women that I'm afraid to talk to, but I know their numbers,
Right.
and want to show them my
And I'm
penis,
going
even
to
though they don't wanna
send
see
this
it.
to all of them. Right.
I think I will do that. I
Do
will
that,
send
yes. And I became an engineer just so this day could happen, so I could build this
And-
wonderful device and send this picture. Yes, absolutely. And then what else do we have? Oh, the Transformer. Yeah, Botanica. Oh my God, it's horrible.
Yeah,
She
that
literally
was the
turns into a
joke. She
plant.
turned into a plant.
Turns into a plant.
I-
Turns into a
like-
fucking plant.
From OG ones, I like the one that always pissed me off the most, even as a kid, was Starscream because he's a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, but that was his role. You know, he needed like
Yeah, but he was
Megatron.
arrogant.
Right, Megatron needed a foil. You know what I mean? And it was Starscream.
Okay, well, if not him, then Blur.
Oh, I did
Because
not like Blur.
Blur
Agreed. I did not care
is
for
like-
Blur.
Could not. It was like supposed to be thinking fast, talking fast,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
but he
yeah.
would just say the same thing. So he'd be like, "That's impossible, impossible,
Yeah,
impossible."
yeah.
That's not talking fast.
Right.
That's just
That's a stutter.
Stuttering.
Is what that is. Right. Like really fast stutter. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. I didn't care for Blur either. Who else was one I didn't like? I'm thinking other
Soundwave,
OG.
I thought was just ridiculous as
Yeah,
a
he was
cassette
great.
recorder.
He
That he
kept
went
all
from a giant
the
robot into a he had his cassette troops.
right.
So like
Ravage and
Laserbeak.
Starscream and not Starscream.
No, no, not,
Laserbeak
Laserbeak.
and
Ravage.
Razor, Ravage,
There was a bunch of them actually. But yeah,
Laserbeak. Yeah,
Laserbeak was the kind of one that was
Laserbeak.
in the cartoons and stuff a lot. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Ravage was the other. Was like
There
the
was two
Puma.
of each. Yeah,
ones.
like jaguar looking dude. There was another. There were two.
Yeah.
Rumble and Frenzy were the two little guys that came out cassette tapes, and then there was Ravage, and then there was Laserbeak and Buzzsaw. That was his name.
Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw was the other
Buzzsaw.
bird like
Right.
one that flew around together.
Right. And he would he would
And when
yeah,
he
he
clicked
would
that thing,
attack
they
them.
all
It
flew. They all flew out of that chest. They were all in there. It's like I don't know how they fit,
Yeah.
but they were.
I know. I didn't find the science behind the Transformers always believable
Yeah, fair. Because Megatron would
thought-
get to the size where one person could hold him
of
like
a gun,
human.
and
a gun.
and he could be held. Yeah, exactly. Like
Like an
how exactly
actual
that
gun.
worked. I mean,
I know,
um,
kind of crazy.
also, conservation of mass, it's
Right.
not a thing.
They had shrinking
Just- it-
technology, and if you had shrinking technology, why couldn't you shrink the Autobots and then squish them?
Exactly.
Is what I would say.
Which is why, one of my favorite animated things I saw ever was a picture of like a transformer, and there were people in the cars, and then it transformed, and all the people were just cut to pieces.
Because all the metal's
Because
moving
that's what
around.
would actually happened.
It's like blood shooting out the window.
It's like ready to transform. They're driving.
Oh, God! Squish.
They're just eviscerated.
Died.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. I rearranged
I
my
had people. I
entire
had people on me. I forgot.
Now I
That's
have
great.
a big green spot.
Oh my
That's
God.
Sorry.
You know, here's the thing that's funny. So going back to Soundwave. So Soundwave was a cassette recorder, but he was microtape cassette recorder. I don't know if you remember that. It was a digital microtape, which didn't get a lot, didn't really take off in the U.S. I think it was big in Japan. I think they used them more there, but they did not take off in the U.S.
They never really built up a consumer market for it, and
Right.
so we had, the cassette troops, because they definitely weren't supposed to be like reel to reel magnetic.
They
tape.
weren't
They had
standard magnetic tapes. They were
They were
these
digital
digital tapes, stat tapes. Yeah.
his like miniature menaces in his chest
Yes.
compartment.
Yes. Right.
Remember that from the cartoon? Yeah.
Great
Okay,
stuff.
did
Great
we-
stuff. Botanica was definitely the edge. If we get to do extended,
no, and you had that, and you got that right. I did not, because that was like secret answer E, and like
good.
the one that turns into a plant, but you nailed it in one. That's
Yeah, they bastardized the
Should've seen
whole
that coming.
franchise. This is like they do with every franchise. They just fuck it up. It's like,
because that. I mean, it's kind of like entropy, eventually,
Yeah.
they're just gonna keep doing it until it's just ruined. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's just
right.
that's how we do things. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether it's Star Wars. They'll just keep doing something until
it's
even
done.
the people who loved it are like,
Until
I
it's
hate what you did to my
until it's
face."
a desiccated husk of what it formerly
Right.
was. Right.
Right.
Yeah. That's what we
Because,
do.
know,
That's what capitalism does.
what we're
Sure.
great as humans is letting work stand for what it is, and
Yeah.
not trying to commercialize it, not try to make
Right.
derivatives off of it.
Right.
Just appreciate it. Is that
Yep.
is the human way?
Right. Right.
In no
Seriously.
way.
Seriously. And it's those pig fuckers who from those production companies that go, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to remake Total Recall, for example. Because
Right.
Total Recall
Which
was
we
a
did
great
not need
movie
to.
back. No one
We're gonna do it
needed
with
to do
Colin-
that. Didn't have to happen.
Colin Farrell, and it didn't do well either.
No need. Because it was bad.
Yeah,
No need.
it was bad.
Unnecessary.
Um,
They keep talking about the Princess
They're redoing
Bride,
The
but
Exorcist.
it's one
they're
of the...
redoing The Exorcist.
Of
They're
course
never.
they
They're redoing The Exorcist
Yeah.
again.
They keep talking about
Um,
Princess Bride. That's like one of the few sacred things we have left.
They never had that in
Untouched.
Never-Ending Story as well.
I know, yeah.
And it's like, but you know what? I don't think in today, but in today's woke culture,
Story.
you could never do what was done to us when Artax dies
Yes.
in the swamps of sadness,
Yes,
and fucking literal horse dies
Yeah.
as the kid.
I know. That's
Artax
Atreyu is
is-
yeah,
And Atreyu is begging, and his horse is like, "Mrrr," and dies.
and dies.
there is nothing that is in a Pixar movie that
Yes,
at all equates to the trauma that
agreed.
image created for
Agreed.
all 10-year-olds
You
everywhere.
went a little blurry, Green Pants. I don't know if you want to do your camera thing there to get you to.
Oh,
Oh no, you're back. You're back.
I'm
It's
back?
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think my even my camera was a little upset over that.
That's all right. Yeah. So I don't know. How do we get down that path? Oh, we're talking about Transformers. And then the
Well,
zombie.
obviously.
What's the other one? The zombie weapon. Yeah, I think I went with that.
Yeah.
I did give it some thought.
Yeah, but you've with the
The only thing with ammo.
anything with ammo, you're right, or
You're gonna run out.
requires fuel. You
Right.
know, I mean, in terms of the most, there's effectiveness, but then there's also like durability.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but,
Maybe a giant spear. Maybe a spear. Maybe like a metal, good solid
It would
carbon core spear.
like the
you
one in the
can
Mandalorian,
Bam. Yeah, because you
Made
can
out-
bat
made out
away
of-
with
made out
it.
of
You
Bes-
can use the
made out
butt
of Beskar.
Beskar, so you can push with this and hit
Right.
them in the head, or you can butt them to stay away, or you can stab them at a distance. So that's not a bad
That's a
choice
good
either.
one.
Or you could
Yeah.
work on that swing thing that they do, and then and you know when you do the back bend as you swing it and kind of chop everybody around you like they did in Serenity.
Yes.
It's great.
While we're on your Summer Glau obsession again,
Why do I always go back to Summer Cloud?
because I see what you did there. Because it was
He's so
all of a sudden
hot.
it's like I was surrendering. You
Miss-
like Summer Glau,
Miss
We know that
Glau, if
like-
you happen to be watching this, it's nothing creepy or weird.
She
I
is.
assure you.
She's a big fan.
It's,
It's so creepy and weird, Summer. I'm telling you. This weekend when we talk, I got to tell you,
What?
it's
you're talking to Summer Glau. I will be over your house in 20 minutes.
Summer, shit, he's on this phone. Okay. No, I don't. How would I know Summer Glau?
Oh my
How would
god.
I know her?
Oh my god, don't mess with me. All right, that's fine.
How would I know? Her?
Yeah. So I don't know how we got back to Serenity, but we did. There was another one they did in it too. That's like a classic move that a lot of fight choreographers use. It's like when they got guys all around them, they do that back bend thing as they sort of whip it all
Yeah.
with the bladed weapon all around. So kind of a badass move. But
Or
yeah.
Gymkata, where you use your
Gymkata.
gymnastics abilities.
Yes. And you know you're ready to take on the enemy army when you can walk on your hands up the stairs. Wasn't that the final test or something?
That is true. That
Yeah.
was the final test because it's
Horrible movie. Gymkata. What was it? It was like an Olympic gymnast combines
Yes.
learns the special martial art of Gymkata and
Right. It was just like random Olympic gymnast. The and then in not to forget Gun Kata, which is
it wasn't called Gun Kata
art
though.
no, there was in the
The movie wasn't called Gun Kata. It was a Christian Bale.
no.
It was the
yeah.
they were the
wasn't
clerics,
they-
whatever they were, the pistols and
Yeah, but I'm saying Gun Kata as a art form.
Oh yeah.
Not-
What was the name of the
there was
movie
no
again?
movie
I
called
forget.
Gun Kata.
What's it called?
Um,
Called Christian Bale. He was the cleric from that future world where they do
Yeah,
the
no,
gun
I can-
things and
uh,
no.
viewers at home, you can just type it in the chat.
Please, somebody
I don't
tell
know.
us what this damn movie. We're gonna kick ourselves
Yeah,
when we hear it.
I
like that. I thought that
Yeah.
movie was pretty good actually. I like.
Yeah, no, I that's why I remembered Gun Kata, because it was like they would enter a room and it was even completely dark, and it was
Right.
just like the angles of all
Yeah.
of the stuff was like it was covering 100% of the room based
Right.
upon the angle of whatever. It was like
Yeah.
obviously all bullshit, but like
Right.
you know,
These super they
Definitely,
call them clerics, and they were able to plot
Yeah.
the trajectories of the bullets by seeing the enemies around them, and they would fire in all the right places to kill everybody basically.
using Gun Kata.
Gun kata. It was a gun kata. Yes. Not to be confused with Jim Kata.
Jim Kata,
Which was horrible.
which is a very serious martial art that is taken very seriously, and
Oh my god.
definitely wasn't just a failed movie.
God. So bad movie. But anyway, yeah. So there you go. I think we covered it.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm sorry. I missed something. Super J, if you're still here, hopefully you're still here. Okay, I'm with this one. Super J did submit a question kind of last minute. So I don't want to disregard her question. So Super J from Outer Banks, North Carolina asks, let's look at this last one here. Advice for moving forward. I was so engaged talking to everyone about voting, like as full on as I could be with a very public-facing job. My inclination is to completely disconnect from all politics for a long time, but that's a privilege. How are you dealing with it all? Related, thank you much for standing up for women. Welcome, Super J. We love women, as we've stated many times before, and that they should be treated as equal
we do.
citizens of this country, unlike what is currently trying to happen.
I understand where you're coming from. Not at all. It's not. Is it
We-
actually that is
we-
not the wrong
we-
thing.
we-
I don't
we-
understand it at all because
Right.
we're men.
Right. We discussed
but-
this very thing in the pre-roll, by the way.
But understanding the
It's very
feeling
topic.
of discontent and
Sure.
my personal feeling is that with this, I also put a lot of effort into trying to get this to happen, and with the fact that it went so badly in the other way, I am going to disconnect from politics and watch this. I'm not even going to watch. I am going to maybe I will. What I'm going to do is just have the BBC, so I will see everything through a
right
layer
through
of
the filter.
like British news to be
Yeah.
like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
And because when I lived in Amsterdam, that was kind of how everything worked, because I could only get my news from the BBC World
Right.
Service, but half their news is U.S. news.
And they do a really good job, by the
Um,
way. The BBC is
right.
top
And so-
quality
'cause-
news
and so-
organization.
Right, and they don't really have an angle per se, other than Americans are fucking nuts.
Right.
So yeah, I think that what I'm gonna do is I'm already off of Facebook.
Mhm.
Did that. Political podcasts, all that different stuff. It will just literally give me an aneurysm. And so at this point, there might be some point at the future, but I cannot talk seriously about politics when we are in an unserious world right now.
Right.
Is how I would say it.
That's
because
a very profound and
they're-
fair statement.
Well, because they're just making cartoon characters are like getting cabinet positions at this
Right.
point. I mean,
Right.
Marco Rubio is going to be secretary. Okay, never mind. I'm out. And it's like it is 100% privilege. It is such massive
Yeah.
privilege to be able to say, you know what,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
going
do
to
it."
opt out of this. I'm just going to, not turn on the news, and I'm going to focus on life and all that stuff,
Right.
which is great if you can do that. And I need to do that. So
Mhm.
I am going to exercise my privilege in this case,
Yep.
and check out of it for a while.
And I'm still fully in. I'm still on my political blogs. I'm still writing. Yeah. So is it going to be frustrating? Absolutely. Is it going to be a shit show over the next 2 years? Probably. Is the world going to end? No, most unlikely not. Are the midterms going to be a thing? Absolutely. Right. So my whole thing is, and Mrs. Vanguard and I were having this conversation. It's like, we need to. By the way, I got to show you guys what the Mrs. Vanguard put this sign on my desk the day after the election.
Have you made plans?
But I am not going to Portugal. Nothing against
It is-
Portugal, but we are not moving to Portugal.
Actually, it is surprisingly difficult to immigrate away, having looked into it.
Yeah, it
especially
is.
being over the age of 45.
The reason about Portugal that keeps coming up is because it's the easiest of the EU countries to get into, and once you do, then you have
Yes.
EU passage throughout the rest of Europe, so it's easier to go from that point.
Right.
Anyway, we're not leaving. So,
Right.
The what was I saying? Oh, right. So Mrs. Vanguard and I are having this conversation, and the thing that I try to assuage her with is, again, we are in a privileged position, right? So support those who are not in that privileged position in whatever way we can. Our state governments are going to do what they, in the more sane states, of course, are going to do what they can to protect those in those not privileged positions, and I believe they will have a degree of success there, which is awesome. Are there still people who are going to suffer? Absolutely, and we will do what we can to best support them, but that's all we can do,
Yep.
right? I mean, the majority has spoken clearly, and the other part is to trust in the institutions, right? So trust in the system, institutions. Saner minds will prevail for some things, not so much for others.
I'm
but
not
I
so
think
sure about all of those. I would
think
have
so.
thought that, but
the
fact
Senate,
that
Senate will
the
behave
fact that
rationally.
a criminal racist
Yeah.
rapist
Right?
is the president of the United States
Yes.
again
Yes.
is not something is
It's
vastly
mind-boggling.
broken.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
cannot trust in that system.
Yes.
That
It's-
system
it's-
is not
especially
correct.
since, and we're gonna rant right now, but
We
I
have
think
Supreme Court seats stolen. There's all sorts
Yeah,
of stuff
no, I
where
know, I know.
there are rules for one side and no rules for the other.
Yeah.
And it's like
I-
you can't debate when reality when there's two different
Yes,
completely separate
yes.
realities.
And the thing that I'm
So-
kicking myself over is like the party, the Republican Party itself hates him, right? Like the establishment
Yes.
hates him, and because he knows they
Loathes him.
he took over and destroyed their party, basically, right? So they know their only hope to
Right.
hold on to power is to get on his coattails, right, and ride with it. But they had the chance during the second impeachment. All they needed to do was convict, and he could never run for office again. And they could have done it. And I'm sure there were many, many multi-hour conversations with leadership if that's what they should do. And they ultimately decided no,
And they
because
decided to back him.
it was their only way to stay in power. So They were this close. They could have done it, and a lot of them didn't
Well,
want to do it.
Well, everything that Donald Trump does always ends up hurting him down the line later because he's a fucking
Absolutely,
idiot.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So even this thing, like, I do not believe he is going to live through an entire administration. Like, I think that is.
And then we're dealing
I
with
do
JD
not-
Vance, which is like,
I mean, he's either going to get 25th. His brain.
He's gonna get
is
25th, yeah.
melting before us. So even like. This isn't Trump 1.0 where it was like, oh, what? This is a deranged psychopath,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a sociopath. This is why I am opting out of
right,
politics.
which is fine. And we didn't want to go down a rant
Because
about this, but
Because when I read when I was like, really, every swing state
Yeah.
and every group, like, oh, Hispanic and Latino people broke
Yeah.
for Trump.
Yeah.
Why? What is
Yeah.
happening?
yeah.
And so I.
So
take a step back.
stay the course, stay the course. So, and I get it, and we didn't want to diverge into a whole thing, right? But I did want to answer Super J's question. And so,
Absolutely.
like I said, trust in the systems and trust there's enough people that want to do the right thing that we will survive, right, and get to the other side. And I think this might be what flips it. You know, what kind of be like wakes people the fuck up. Because if you look at the numbers, Green Pants and I were talking about this before we went live on air, is that the number of people that voted, if you look at the number of increased population in the U.S. of voting age, approximately the same amount of people voted for Trump as did last time, meaning he did not grow. I mean, I'm sure people in and out, right? I'm not saying the same exact people. I'm not making that broad statement, right? But approximately the same amount of people voted each time, and like 8 or 9 million people less voted for Harris, for the opposition party, right? So that's a lack of enthusiasm. That's not a lack of, oh
Absolutely.
no, the rapist fascist is right. You know what I mean? They were going to say that anyway about him, right? It's less people got
what they
enthused.
basically saying is we would rather have the worst person in
Yes.
the world
Yes.
than a woman.
Yes.
We will take the worst male possible in the fucking world who exemplifies every shitty
Toxic,
character
masculine, everything.
empty. He's just a seething ghoul
Yes.
of just
I
fucking
don't think we're.
evil.
I don't think we're.
And we're like, yeah, but a woman?
Right. I don't think we're filling Super J with hope. So let's fill her with some hope.
Well, no, that's why here I'm saying, come,
Right.
you can smoke hopium with me, but the thing is, you got to hop in,
Smoke
and what you got to do
hopium.
is, you need to. I am separating myself from the political discourse.
Yes,
I am.
yes, you are.
Setting myself over, and so I will be around, and I will pop up from time to time, but you will see me again in 2028.
Right.
At which point, maybe in 2026 I will be willing to discuss the midterms if nope, 2028.
Yeah.
So give me until 2028,
and then we'll
I'm
have a
out till then.
conversation.
and then I'll poke my head up about that,
Right.
Punxsutawney out of that gopher hole, see if
Oh,
I
the
see my
gopher
shadow,
hole?
and we'll go
And
for
then
it.
we'll discuss from there. Yeah, Super J had a pretty interesting comment. The only thing America hates more than a rapist is a woman. It's true. It's like-
But the women voted for him. That's the thing is he won the female vote. That
know.
makes no sense to me.
I know.
Because if just like 70% of women voted for Harris, that would have been it.
Right.
Like, but it's like, why? I don't like.
Eggs.
Ah.
Eggs are too much.
Yeah.
The eggs. It's the eggs.
Yeah, right.
So expensive. The eggs.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
it really,
anyway.
it really in my gut, it really the price of eggs. I don't
Yeah.
even like eggs. I
love eggs, actually.
It's fine. Yeah, wait. No, I like.
But I don't
them in
mind paying for
things
them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. If we can have reproductive health rights for women and slightly expensive omelets, I'm okay with the omelets being a little bit more
Yeah,
pricey. You know.
Yeah. In Samla, who's watching us, and hello, Samla, good to see you again, by the way. Posted a bit of sarcasm because food will go down in price once we kick out all the cheap labor. Of course, the illegal immigrants that
Right.
are keeping the agriculture industry alive in this country.
Right. Right. Exactly. When food prices soar through the roof, when people go,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Wait, what
All the stuff that
happens?
they were doing.
I guess
Wait,
that's what I was
what do you
getting
mean the
at.
economy is
Right. I was going a long way about it, but I predict a very large amount of buyer's remorse, right? And that there's going to people, and a lot of it was because of lack of enthusiasm and people waking up. What's going to happen is going to wake people the fuck up. You know what I mean? Which may be what we needed, so maybe there'll be a silver lining to the end of this, right? And we'll get that engagement that
And a lot of people are down because losing, the house as well. But at this point, though, in history, when this happens, everything that happens, all of the shit will be owned by them.
Right.
There's the grievance politics, the complaining, the constant going into school boards and yelling about wokeness and
Right.
porn in
It's all done. It's
libraries
not gonna
and
happen.
trans kids in bathrooms.
Not gonna happen.
You don't have time for any of that shit because you're
No.
gonna have to actually try to
Govern.
govern. You
Right.
can't just complain
Yeah.
about shit that doesn't exist
Right.
because actual shit exists that they're gonna be like, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
And it's gonna be handled so badly that people hopefully will eventually be like, oh shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's
You need
that's
those
what happened
things
with
to
Obama.
You need those things to wake
That's
people.
how Obama got rushed in. You had a war criminal, absolute
Right.
fucking moron,
Right.
get moved out, mission
Uh,
accomplished,
uh.
and Obama came in.
Yep.
And he shut up for 8 years.
Right.
And then
And then now here we are somehow.
we
Right.
decided to ruin it again.
Yeah.
And then we decided to fix it, and now we're gonna ruin it.
Yeah. And then we'll fix it, and then we'll ruin it,
hold on to-
and then we'll fix it, and then we'll ruin it. But you know what?
No,
The trend
we
line
fix,
still
they
does
ruin.
this. The trend line still does this, right? That's what I'm hoping for. It's frustrating because it takes so long, these cycles, you know, and it seems like it's such a big
Yeah.
percentage of our lives, but it's like, shit is better, honestly. I mean, yeah, the KKK is still there, but they're not what... I mean, if we were there, if we could go to a time machine and look at what things are like in the 60s, dear God. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
It was
no,
like,
yeah.
there was
It's
some really
truly
bad
heinous.
shit. The Cold
Yes.
War, my God. You have
you
children
read,
hiding
like-
under desks. It's like,
Yeah, read anything by Isabella Wilkerson.
yes,
I
thank
mean,
you.
So it's just for not just like it's like
Mhm.
you know the fact that people in the 50s would rather bury the pool in cement and just then allow a black
Yeah.
person to swim in it,
Correct.
or a white person.
Correct.
It was like no, as a community,
That's
as a
what
city,
it was.
we are deciding to make a choice to just bury the pool and just make
Yes.
it okay. You know what? No more public
Yes.
pools.
The governor
if
of
we gotta integrate them.
Alabama standing at the steps of that school, right? Not letting those black kids enter. I mean, damn. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the army, Kennedy had to call the National Guard to tell him to step aside. It was like,
But-
geezo.
But the problem is, it is frightening how far we have not come from there.
Agreed.
Like,
Much has been done,
we
but
can't think about-
but how much has not been
but
done
that-
is very frightening as well.
but because it's not like oh those days when there was like it's like yo now it just was like it was more they passed civil rights legislation, and in response to that we passed a whole bunch of bullshit where we put up
Yep.
Confederate statues and
Right,
have
right.
God on the flags and on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
money,
Which
and
is the
Pledge of
FU.
Allegiance
All
and-
that stuff, by the way, is
Yeah.
the FU for the civil rights movement.
That's all it was.
In
That
case
was just
anyone's
response.
confused about that, that was the response.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why it's like it's been part of our culture. We have it on our
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
all that stuff happened in the 1950s.
Correct.
As it was
As a
it was
direct
that
result.
and communism too.
Yes.
As a
As
fight
a
against
direct
communism.
result
yeah.
of race normalizations, yes, and the civil rights movements. Anyway.
Yeah.
So back to hope.
So
So the
back to
institutions will
hopium.
hold. Back to opium. The institutions will hold. There are enough sane people that things should not go completely to shit. And if you are in a position of privilege, wonderful. You're most likely going to be fine. If you're not, I think the people of privilege need to help those without, right? And again, I think at the state level
absolutely.
and at the individual level is stick together and help each other how we can, and fight this fucking.
basically check out check on your friends and neighbors and all that
Absolutely.
stuff. Yeah, that's why for me personally, I'm not checking out of society. I'm
Right.
just checking out of political discourse because
Yes.
there's no point. Because if I can go on 5 different web pages
Mhm.
and get 5 completely different pictures of how the state of the world currently is,
Yes.
that like there at least was a time where it would be like the front page of every front was at least the same war.
Yeah.
But it has gotten to be like, trans athlete in Kansas tries to make the wrestling team
Right.
versus genocide.
Right.
Look, another
In
it's
Syria,
like,
right? It's
Yeah.
like-
or like what's important or not. It's like
Yeah.
these edge cases of stuff,
Mhm.
which is why it's very difficult to talk
Sure.
to people who are in that echo chamber because they'll refer to things that
Absolutely.
you don't even know what you're talking about.
I have to recommend. This is a time. So I've been reading. It's a website called Ground News. So ground.news.
Mhm.
And they are not sponsors of the show, by the way. But I just want to give a shout out to them. So they do media bias analyses, and you can literally choose the shape of your echo chamber. Like basically, like no, I want to hear left wing or right wing stories or whatever it is, and you'll get them. And it tells you the sources they're from. It tells you the bias of that particular reporting for that story. You know what I mean? So at least you get a sense of like, okay, this is through a filter. You know what I mean? And this is the leaning of that filter. At least I get that. So I have to.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more work.
It is. Well, that's why these aggregator sites are nice. You know what I mean? Because then you can at least like, with not as much effort, sort of get that perspective. And I do recommend people, look at other perspectives. Sure. But yes.
But for me, I'm going to bury myself in the sand and watch the new Dune series. It's coming out.
There you go.
Excited to see that, The Prophecy.
There you go.
And
128.
We'll see if
you come back out, if you come up for air, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, exactly. If I
you'll hear Irish need not apply, and then we're back to those days again.
Right.
Yeah, but one thing I have to say though is that the it is clear, probably one of the most damaging things, and not necessarily going to be the official policy, but it's going to be the portrayed message by these elected leaders and the behavior of people that are going to give into that mindset.
Yes.
So like people say, oh, it's okay to denigrate women. You know what I mean? It's okay to be a little bit racist now and then, kind of thing. And we're going to see more of that in the news.
A little bit. Now they're just full on.
Blatant. I know.
Marjorie Taylor Greene said that the weather is controlled by them.
Them. Yeah. You're the them.
Yes. No. It's apparently my wife's people. No, I have discussed this with many Jews. None of them have let me know the secret
of the space laser. I know.
They have that stuff locked down. I have not found
there you go.
A Jewish person that will open up at all
That's
about
right.
the weather control.
So what was this?
I have some
weather control, like just
feedback.
Understanding basic science and knowing that we are as a species have the inability to control the weather at that scale. It's like just mind-boggling. But anyway,
a man brought a snowball into the House of Congress to show global warming is not a thing.
Because snowballs can exist.
That's science. You just got science, motherfucker.
That's right. So what I was saying, I just wanted to finish that thought on. So you're going to see more bad behaviors from common people because this is the modeled behavior, right? So, so that's where our allies
might get caught jerking off their boyfriend in a children's production of Beetlejuice.
Perhaps
that could happen.
Exactly.
A representative, maybe something like that.
Now is the time to really be an ally. You know what I mean? And especially the thing I wanted to give the special shout out for was the I know it's an overused phrase somewhat, but it's so true. Toxic masculinity, right? About what like a real man is and that kind of thing. It's like men who are watching this, fight that shit. Like that's the biggest thing, right? If you say no, that's
laugh at it. Because it's
right.
Because it's
like
so
mock
ridiculous.
It. Yeah, people who think they're alpha males. It's like you don't know what a man is. Like you.
And it's also, what does that even mean? It's like it's because then it's also being like, no, a real man. It's like
a real
that's
man,
all,
no fucking real man. I'll give you a real
all
man.
Ridiculous, like, just as we're projecting, it's like, yes. Do I think about the Roman Empire multiple times per day? Obviously,
I do as well.
All men
I also do this. Yes, I also. Yes.
But
yeah. But anyway, so hang in there,
yes.
and again, fight for your neighbors, and it'll resolve. It'll resolve. This too shall pass, and we shall survive.
So. Put your efforts where they can make the most difference. And
Thank you.
My efforts, listening to political podcasts, not the best use of my efforts.
Right.
So maybe a little bit more time at the food bank. I think that'll be better.
That's exactly. And that's that. So I think we've done good. We've gone a little bit over, but I think this is an important conversation. And Super J, thank you for asking the question. And Samla, thank you for your comments. And everybody else who submitted questions for this week's show, we appreciate you.
And to all of the people who just asked why, you know what? We feel you.
We think we covered that. I think we did pretty well. We tried not to go on too deep a tangent on that, but we had to let out a little bit. I think everyone here is.
I think our feelings are known.
Yeah, and everyone here is familiar.
Can we explain to you why exactly? Unfortunately, no.
Right.
But it probably has something to do with baskets and deplorables.
Exactly. And we're getting up, by the way, so this is a exciting thing. Next week is our 45th show, so we're coming up on the 50th.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So we got to do something special. We'll think of something special to do.
Doing this for a full year. So
nuts, dude, nuts. But
coming up.
I know. But we've been loving the hell out of it. So please keep sending those questions, and we will keep answering them. So because we're here to help you. So
We're here to help more than
what
ever.
we do more than
No.
ever.
And also remembering, people like Laserbeak. Because some things like, the cassette troops of Soundwave don't get brought up that much in
The
popular
Cassette
culture,
Troops of
so
Soundwave.
I
That'd be a
think it's
good.
important.
That is an awesome name for a cover band. The Cassette Troops of Soundwave.
Cassette Troops of Soundwave.
Yes, I want to work on that. All right. Until next time, we will be here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time again. Thank you all for coming by, and we love you all, and we'll catch you next time. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Don't do the